In this LearnElectrics video, we will take a forward look at the changes that are coming with the new Amendment 4 of the wiring regulations that's due to be released in April of this year. A heads up of what to expect. So, what is happening? BS7671 2018 plus A4 2026, the Orange Amendment 4 book, will be published in April 2026 and will run in parallel with BS7671 2018, Amendment 2 and Amendment 3, the Brown Book, for just 6 months, after which the Amendment 2 and 3 Brown Book will be withdrawn. This is to allow the industry time for contractors to adapt to any changes that affect them, to use up any Amendment 3 stock, and also for training centres and exam bodies to implement the changes. What is the sequence of events? The Brown Amendment 2 and 3 book will be withdrawn on the 15th of October 2026. The Orange Amendment 4 book will become live on the 15th of April 2026. There will therefore be a 6-month crossover period when both Amendments 2 and 3 and 4 will be active at the same time. Electricians and contractors must use the Brown Book up to the 15th of April, and then its use is optional until the 15th of October. Work can be carried out to the existing standards. From the 15th of October, only Amendment 4, the Orange Book, will be valid, and all new work must be completed to the new standard. Several learners have asked how this will affect their exams and assessments, and there is no need for alarm. If you started a course for using the Brown Amendment 2 and 3 book that overlaps with the introduction of Amendment 4, you will normally be allowed to complete your studies and sit the exam to Amendment 2 and 3 for several weeks, after which all exams will be to the new Amendment 4 book. For the most part, much of what you've learnt in the Brown Book will still be relevant in the Orange Book. And, of course, as soon as the new Amendment 4 books are available to us, we will provide you with a full update of the changes and how they affect you. Another often asked question: do I need to resit the 18th edition exam? There is no requirement for anyone that is holding a valid 18th edition certificate to resit the exam or to attend an update course. However, some employers will want to send their electrical staff on such a course as part of their CPD requirements and perhaps for insurance purposes. All electricians will be expected to make themselves familiar with the changes and additions to the new regulations, especially to those changes that might affect their work. And another question: what do the scheme providers such as NAPIT, NIC, EIC expect from their members? Scheme providers will expect members to update themselves with the new amendment, whether that is by self-study or by attending an update course, whichever study mode suits your learning style. Members will be expected to show their assessment officer a valid copy of the new Amendment 4 book at their next assessment after they begin working to Amendment 4. Scheme providers will expect their members to be fully aware of how the new regulations and changes affect their work as it applies to them. Members should expect to be questioned on the new regulations at their next annual assessment after they begin working to Amendment 4. If you decide not to implement Amendment 4 immediately, you will not be required to provide evidence, but from 15th October 2026 you must work to the new Amendment 4 standard and provide evidence as required by your scheme provider. Personally, I think it makes a lot of sense to start working to the new amendment as soon as you can and be up to speed with the regs before October. What's changing? Let's take a look at what the word on the wire is without going in too deep until the new books are available. These are the main areas of change. We have functional earthing and functional equipotential bonding for communication technology and functional equipotential bonding for information and technology equipment and systems, abbreviated to ICT. Then, for stationary secondary batteries, there is a new section for instances where the battery is used for electrical storage and the supply of electrical installations. There is Power over Internet, or PoE, which has a new section in the book. Next, medical locations. Section 710. These have a major revision, including a schedule of test results for the specific testing and recording of the resistance of supplementary protective equipotential bonding conductors, and the required testing and recording of the resistance of supplementary bonding conductors will also appear in the testing section. Let's begin with a brief overview of functional earthing and functional equipotential bonding. This is applicable to ICT centres, data centres and specialist installations. There will be clearer definitions in Amendment 4 relating to functional earthing, functional bonding and earthing for EMC performance, and this will be particularly applicable to commercial and industrial buildings and settings where it will affect the design of the installation and the EICR coding on inspection and test. Stationary secondary batteries is a new chapter. This new chapter is especially pertinent to anyone installing and working with solar, storage or backup systems. The new chapter will cover the new battery technologies and the old, so this will include lithium-ion batteries and lead-acid batteries and other chemical combinations that are used. There will be more explicit rules on ventilation requirements, on fire separation from combustible materials, and the location of and access to the batteries and cabinets, and what means are provided to protect against thermal runaway with the inherent fire risk. There will be an emphasis on clear labelling and essential documentation that should be left with the person ordering the work for future reference by those involved with the system. And expect battery installs to become more like EV charger installs, with more paperwork, an emphasis on defined zones and enhanced scrutiny of fire safety. Power over Internet, or PoE, is a new section and an area of our work that is growing in importance with the advances in technology and home smart systems. PoE is no longer just an afterthought on a network, and it will now be treated as a power system. There are specific requirements for cable ratings and for maximum power classes. We must consider and take appropriate measures for heat generation in grouped or bundled cables. No more squeezing in that last little Cat5 into that overfilled trunking. We must begin to treat PoE more like SELV and PELV and consider the thermal constraints. And there will be requirements for separation from low voltage circuits. Medical locations already exists as section 710, but it will see changes that you must take into account if this is part of your work. This existing section of the wiring regulations will see a major revision, including a schedule of test results for the specific testing and recording of the resistance of supplementary protective equipotential bonding conductors. No longer will it be sufficient to look and record the bonding as present. It must be measured with a test meter and the results recorded. Some of the changes to expect will include an updated classification of medical locations, revised RCD and RCBO requirements, new guidance on supplementary bonding, and more clarity on UPS and IPS systems. Even small clinics will need more rigorous paperwork and bonding checks. Moving on, we come to the resistance of supplementary bonding conductors, an important requirement from now on. There are small but important changes to the testing of installations, and there will be a new dedicated schedule for measuring and recording the resistance of the supplementary bonding conductors. During an inspection and test, the actual resistance of the supplementary bonding conductors must be recorded on the new schedule. The effectiveness of the conductors cannot be assumed to be okay. They must be physically measured with a test meter and the actual values recorded. And something we all want a heads up on: how will Amendment 4 affect me as a domestic installer? For any electrician that is working diligently and already complying with Amendments 2 and 3, there will be some minor changes that will require a little change in working practices for you to incorporate them. You will already be 90% or more on the way to compliance. Take a look at this short table that identifies different areas of change. Most are minor changes with just a couple of more major areas to consider. Documentation will be an area of increased focus, so what should be expected? These changes are important but easily adopted, and there will be more emphasis on labelling and identification, system documentation, battery paperwork, and POE system details. In other words, leaving enough information with the owner of the installation so that anyone else following you is able to understand what you've done and how the installation or system has been put together, the safety, function, etc. And these requirements will flow through to and affect responses to EICRs on future inspections and tests. See the table below for a couple of examples of coding, with more to follow in a later video. Take a look at this little table. It shows the important changes and updates that we must understand and must begin to implement as soon as we begin working to Amendment 4. When Amendment 4 goes live, we will upload help videos where we will break down the changes, identify the pages where the changes can be found, and, of course, we will produce exam help videos with tips, exam-style questions, and fully worked answers to help you to improve your exam scores or just to update your knowledge if you already have the qualification. Thanks for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video and that it's proved helpful to you. Please subscribe to our channel to get access to all of our videos, and remember to click on notify to be sure of not missing our next video. And don't forget, you can also type in LearnElectrics into the YouTube search bar to go directly to our channel at any time from any computer or smart device. We are always adding new videos to our channel, so don't miss the next one. And once again, thank you for watching, and we hope to see you again very soon.